I think I'm going to start recording this. Yeah, so we can speak to this a little bit. I'm going to turn this up. It sounds like I'm a little bit low. Hopefully that'll help the recording. Giving Tuesday, I love the idea. I love that there's a day. I didn't love it for us as a community because really giving, and I wrote the part of the poem and the tome, really, from David White. The full measure of generosity is in one's presence. And I, unfortunately, what my preference would be this Giving Tuesday, whatever monies you give are going to be fabulous. And thank you for that. That's essential. It's essential. It's not even a privilege. It's just essential. And it is as well a gift. But what's maybe more important to our practices this Tuesday is to practice truly presence, really showing up somewhere completely. I've learned a lot in this last week of my family's extended family. We had Al's dad's memorial on Saturday after Thanksgiving. We had his family come out, his brother, his wife, their children. And we've really done nothing but tell stories. They have been just extraordinary when we've been together. We just tell stories about our experience of Jim, of being in this family, of being in connection to each other, of being raised and grown and having come from similar backgrounds. All of us came from blue collar at best backgrounds with families who grew up working in the auto mills and the auto industry and the steel mills. Those were two essential parts of a whole where we grew up in very small houses with at least 3 children and a lot of connection because everybody needed everybody. And so we talked about that history. And what I realized as I was sitting there was that there was nothing to do. That there wasn't, we didn't have to have a big dinner. We didn't have to go to the beach, though of course they did those things as well. They did them primarily without us. What we did do though was sit in presence. And I saw in not very long the healing power of that. So you start just telling stories, right, about this day, that day, this friend, that friend, this funny remembrance, that funny one. And that takes a few minutes, but really fairly quickly what I saw was that we got to the heart of the matter, that we started telling stories about our fears and about our pain and about our confusion and about our aloneness and about how we didn't ever understand how blank did that. And once again, it's not the first time I was able to just sit and hear how important we were to our families, how our decision, this one silly 29-year-old decision to leave the Chicago area for California, and how that impacted everybody. And in all kinds of ways, right? I don't want to say it was a bad thing or a good thing. That would be simplistic. But how pained it was and how misunderstood it was. And we left quickly. We left within a month of announcing. And how abandoned and alone and fearful others were by our leaving. In a way that I had heard this before from my own brother, but had never quite understood. And I thought, wow, how asleep was I that I couldn't imagine my own impact, my own love, my own presence on another. And again, more than anything else, the importance of it was in the sitting with it. It didn't require apology. It didn't require explanation. It didn't like, well, the reason. And in fact, that certainly would have gotten in its way had we enterprised that notion. And I think the same is true of generosity here. We're going to read this paragraph, but my point being, I think the greatest generosity must begin with you showing up so that you can truly see with clarity, as I did not, those now many 35, 38, 40 years ago, did not see the meaning of our leaving our family. It doesn't mean, of course, that it was wrong, and it doesn't mean that we wouldn't have gone, and it doesn't mean it didn't lead to all the right things. In fact, I think quite the opposite. I think it was ours to do, but I think we could have done it with greater tenderness and greater understanding of its both celebratory, the positive impact, but also the pained one in our own family. And so we have spent this whole week really healing. I wouldn't say anyone would use that word, and it would be just the right word to use by the storytelling and the what happened and why did you go and all of those things. So today on Giving Tuesday, I think we could invite the practice of presence first. And then I would like you to trust the generosity of that and whatever comes from it. Can you simply be present, bringing your full attention, which we rarely to never do, to the situation, to hear, to listen deeply, to allow your own heart to break or be joyful as another's is, and then see what else is required. I think you might be surprised, as I have been once again, by the beauty and the power and the potential healing of that alone. And so let's look at this last paragraph that has been really embedded in my mind since Thanksgiving. I also hope you all had a beautiful Thanksgiving with the bounty of your presence. Whatever the food, with the bounty of your presence. And that I'd like us to work on that really throughout this holy season, and so that we don't get lost. And here's what, once again, David White has to say, and then we'll sit. Thankfulness finds its measure in generosity of presence. There he says it all. Its full measure in generosity of presence, both through participation and witness. We sit at the table as part of every other person's strange world, while making our own world without will or effort. This is what is extraordinary and gifted. This is the essence of gratefulness, seeing to the heart of privilege, the privilege of being invited into presence with another. That privilege, I don't know if there's any larger than that. So I just saw Margie come on. Hi, Margie, to you. Always good to see you. And so with that, let's practice together. And so we're going to simply be practicing presence. The gratefulness, as we've been working these last several weeks, can you feel that the gratefulness just comes from the presence? The gratefulness simply arises, just as we said about compassion naturally arising effortlessly from the truth of suffering. when we show up for that, compassion is the only result. When we show up with that deep understanding, I think, of interconnectedness, of the merging, of the confluence of everything, there is only one thing that comes, and that is gratitude, our connection to everything. Then there is no I. Then there is no I, and there is no you. There is only what? The wholeness, the oneness, the connectedness. Then opinion doesn't matter. Leslie and I have been doing a little talk, haven't we, about opinion making and taking. And then there is no I and you in that even. There is only the truth and our wending our way to it. So let's get the feet on the floor, the legs, if they are crossed, let them be comfortable and supported. Let's let the back be somewhat upright, energized, wakeful. And for just a moment, we feel the sense of the body. We bring our presence to our own mind, body, and heart. We invite the awakening right here. We feel the sense of the body sitting, its weight, its uprightness. We remember this privilege of being human and being alive. Be watchful of the mind's habit to find a special way to breathe. See if you can't let that go. Stop being the breather. Such a small job. You don't need it. Let the body do it. And with that attention, we're already awakening. And then we remember the aspirations and intentions for our practice. These are the three spheres of awakening. We invite the open heart. By first recollecting all that we have been given, been gifted, been privileged, been offered in this lifetime. And it doesn't matter where the mind goes, it's to that. Remembering our suttas and the sutta saying, recollect your mother and father, living or not, kind or not. They are an essential contribution to your happiness, your ease, and your well-being. They gave you this human life. The house we're sitting in and who built it, the trees around us and who grew them, the clothes we're wearing, the air we're breathing. And then we elect right from here, not only all the memory of those who have come before us, who have contributed, but to whom we wish to contribute. This is an essential part of our presence practice. To whom do we wish to extend the benefits of our practice today? And then we take that heart, the one that knows the truth of giving, the truth of being gifted, the truth of being the giver, all of them blessings, and we open it, we expand it. May we offer these blessings, the benefits, the merits of this practice today and all practice to the end of suffering, to the realization of safety, of happiness, of freedom, of well-being. We offer this to all beings everywhere, without exception, omitting none. Awakening, inviting that presence, that generosity, that kindness, and freeing us. And so we're going to sit back by about 10%. There's always a little extra efforting at the beginning, so just rest back just a tiny bit. Settle back into the body. And find your anchor points. It's a way to invite the mind to non-reactivity, non-judgment, not wandering. We feel the feet. We touch into the seat. We feel the rise and fall of the body. And we feel the hands, the warmth, the coolness, the connection. Mhm. And we tuck the chin just a little. And that's not only that bow to all of life as it arises. That's to keep us from that wandering mind. And then you can place the attention somewhere in the body, particularly in this tradition in the breath, but truly it's not required. You can simply rest in presence. If you're doing so, then it will be very important to open to including thoughts, because thoughts can easily carry us away. So I like anchoring into the body for a few moments. Being watchful not to start setting up rules and rights and wrongs. And we do it almost immediately by going, oops, I just thought about what I was going to say. I just thought about our family next door. I just thought about the cat I just saw walk by. I'm screwing it up. That's also presence when it's intentioned. And so the practice here is simply to be intentioned in our presence, and intention in our paying attention. Can you feel the generosity of your own presence? Can you recognize it as a gift? Attending to your own mind, body, and heart. You might place attention on the whole of the breathscape, the chest, the diaphragm, and the belly, the felt sense of the whole body as it expands and contracts. You might have a place that's deep in the belly. That's where my attention went today. Invest in the weight of the breath. And along with the attention, then, can we bring the generosity of our own hearts to ourselves? Maybe kindness, care. Maybe compassion, maybe patience. Maybe non-reactivity, non-bias, non-judgment. And if you haven't done any formal meditation practice in the last few days, celebrate your being here completely. You took the time, the energy, the effort. Really, the point was to greet yourself. And that means we open the door, right? However we are, including qualities of being not grateful. Right? We've talked about this as well. We could maybe come into recognizing weariness or over giving of things that we didn't possess, or um, feeling like we've gotten too far away from ourselves in our wish to be of benefit or service to others. This is the opportunity to fill the tank. And remember that formal practice is also a training. It is an invitation over and over, regardless of circumstance, regardless of conditions, regardless of liking or not liking, or restlessness or weariness or laziness. It's really none of it matters. It is, can we awaken this moment to whatever is true right here in the generosity of your own presence? And can we hold it kindly, lovingly? Whatever happened yesterday or the day before or on Thursday, can we offer that as wholeheartedly as possible? Can we offer that generosity of heart to ourselves right now? Can we see, feel, sense, know the gift of our own presence, offered now completely to ourselves? Can we be grateful for the whole of our humanness, even the pain, sticky, greedy, hungry parts? Can we invite that quality of mind that is open, receptive, willing, committed, offering the gift of you to yourself? For some of us, there may be a struggle, a feeling of unworthiness, undeservingness. I didn't do enough, I'm not enough. And this is so delusional and unfortunate. So can we begin just here, knowing that we are each deserving of this attention, no matter what else has happened? As you harm yourself in the delusion of unworthiness, in that trance, you also harm us all. because then the generosity of your presence is diminished. The light of you is dim. Shine that light of awareness on your whole mind, body, and being. See what's there. If you cannot be home to yourself, the possibility of offering yourself to others with this stillness, with this calm, with this ease, and this non-doing is very, very difficult. With the body softened and at ease, and the heart open, we can see the quality of mind. Those little apparently random thoughts, maybe not so random. I should do this more, not useful. We're doing it now. The presence is now. The showing up is now. There is no past moment. I need to something in the future. No point. You're only here. Presence is here. The generosity and its capacities are right here. Offer yourself completely. The truth is that we have to stay with ourselves, often for quite a while, to begin to trust ourselves. So that, as I said about our family, so that the storyline begins to deepen, so that the truths begin to be told, so that the joys, the gratitude, as well as the sorrows and the pain can be revealed. And so in these short practices, especially if you don't do them every day, as many do not, and I understand, then the truth is you're likely running into a fairly strong armor. You might be getting a little bit of relief. The body may be softened a bit. And then the mind's going, so now what the hell? What else? Let's get something going on. And the generosity of presence is to stay even when by appearance nothing's happening. It's actually never true. You might be feeling into the tightness of your own body. Remember, the body is a mirror to the mind. You might be noticing the areas of achiness or tenderness, tightness. And your own response to that is indicative of what you do on the inner landscape as well. And so, can we offer kindness, care, compassion right here? When we bring that attention, that generosity of presence, the true healer, to our own bodies. And what is the quality of mind, the quality of heart that we bring with that attention? Is it caring? Is it condemning? Is it patient or impatient? Kind? Demanding? We can actually cultivate those healing qualities by offering those phrases, offering those images, offering those endearments, offering physical touch. May I be well. May I be free from pain or distress. May I be filled with loving kindness towards myself, no matter the condition. We can greet not only the body and body sensations, we can greet qualities of mind and qualities of heart in exactly the same way, right? With that openness, that generosity of presence directed towards ourselves, we can offer mercy, forgiveness, understanding, and care to those qualities that are contracted, the impatience regarding these last few days with the family. I can smile and understand. And as we see our own humanness, the generosity of presence invites that smile. It says, I know. I know the truth of this humanness and I understand. And that there is no condemning, there is no judgment, there is no criticism, there is no belittling, demeaning that will offer the cure. The light of awareness, may it shine in those shadowed parts, and may we bring compassion for our own suffering, our own tiredness. I was exhausted yesterday after a week with the family. Can I let that be true? Maybe there's a sadness, maybe there's a grief, maybe there's a regret. Can we allow the generosity of our own presence to hold it and then to attend? This is very different than fixing, in that there is no assumption that what is arising is broken, but the conditioned result of other moments of ignorance, of shutdown, of disconnect. That the reason it's gotten us here is because we weren't paying attention with that generosity of presence to ourselves before. And as I look over the week, for example, I can see moments I probably just needed to go in and lay down, take some breaths for myself.
Hello?
And as we offer this to ourselves, then for the last few moments, can we open the field of that light of awareness? Can we extend it beyond this body, this mind, this heart, where I wanted to focus today on purpose, because we do not offer this generosity to ourselves enough? Is there anyone else you would like to include in that circle of light, in that heart circle, in that field of loving kindness and compassion? The truth is, we could include easily all others, their pain, their weariness, their demands, their expectations, just like ours. And then we can smile at them also. I understand how that can happen. I understand how losing it, one of our nieces had a tough day with the kids. We all know that. And it began just as it begins with us, doesn't it? She did not give herself the generosity of her own presence. To say, I've had it. I need a break. May we all be filled with loving kindness. And may we be one. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. The only result is joy. And may this practice today contribute, because of course it will. No doubt. Do not doubt this. Your ease will contribute. Your presence is the gift. And it heals the world right now. You know, I often get teary in the practice. And it's for two reasons, really, not for one. It's really from the complete joy of remembering. Really so joyful and grateful. And it is also from the pain of forgetting. Like, how do you forget over and over? And can I simply begin again? Can't. No matter how it was, no matter what was said, no matter how, right? And so I want to hear how this last several days with friends or family or others and not others, right? It goes all those ways. Please forgive me, I have a little scratchy throat. I'm going to be paying attention to that. Leslie says here, love this phrase, the generosity of my own presence, attending to myself, something to continue to recreate. Isn't it true? Over and over continuously. And the more continuously we practice, the more continuously we can make the offer and the invitation to others to do so as well for them, and both of them for us. To remember to remind myself that is enough, more than enough. It's true, and it is so easy to forget. Yes, this practice hits home, says Tanya, especially right now. I think so. The reason I chose this, and I don't usually choose till moments before the practice today, was because I noticed that my own weariness came out of non-attending. By only going out, what do they want to do? Where they want to go? How do they want to do it? It's really unskillful, and actually always has suffering as its result. And when I start in presence, the truth is I don't get so far away from home, and then I just open that home, that door of home, that generosity of my own presence to others and others and others, with that as the base. And I think it's easy, especially in these holy times with Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah to those who are celebrating. I know there are many. It's easy to get into tasking and doing and got to get this and the right certain things set up. And it's not that they're not beautiful, but they've got to come out of this generosity of presence. And when they don't, if they don't, the consequence is rarely what we were truly seeking or wanting to create: our own stress, our own weariness, our own tiredness, our own fatigue. And the consequence of that, no one would want. No one could want that, because then you can't be okay, and then no one can be okay. Yes. Cindy says, you harm yourself and others in the delusion of your unworthiness. Isn't this one of our craziest, really? Our craziest imaginings? That somehow if I give it all away, that it will be okay or work out or be balanced, or that I can have the joy of that. And yes, we can. Yes, we can. It is not sufficient. We have to have ourselves. We have to have the full well of our own being, of our own presence, before we can gift others. And what are we gifting? There is no doing in the gift. It is effortless. It comes out of that, the generosity of our own presence. And it's antidote, right? The thing we're working, it is the antidote, is what I mean to say, to that trance of unworthiness, that delusion that somehow we are not deserving. And if we only did more, if we only gave more, if we only something or other, the other would then love us. The other would then be kind. The other would then appreciate. The other, no, 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 no. I wish it were true. I wish it were true. There's no truth in it. It is not true. What actually happens is that the people who have a tendency to use others And I am not faulting. I understand how we all can get there too. Out of our depletion, we can exploit others. That is what happens. Out of our not offering to ourselves sufficiently, we can become greedy. It is how it happens. And then we go, how does that person take so much? Well, it's because they haven't given themselves anything of true value and meaning, right? And it doesn't matter how many earrings they have. It doesn't matter how many clothes they have. It doesn't matter what car they drive. It's all false in its nourishment, right? Doesn't give them anything. And so then you can then be used up also. So be watchful of that. Let me see what else it says here. Even though I had to drive for hours to be with my sister in Lancaster, good for you, Dennis, I kept reminding myself those who were on the road with were most likely going to be with their loved ones. Yes, they were going to be gifted, weren't they? And also gifting themselves to others. And that is always beautiful. Yes, even when it takes a long time, that is, we're willing to do it, or we're not willing to do it. And that's not a better or worse. Maybe there's another moment, another day, another way to be present. As for each of us to figure out, good for you, Dennis, that was valuable enough to you that you could see the benefit and the beauty, even in the traffic. Thank you. To be present for others and also to be present for ourselves is work. Yeah, imbalance for me. Yes, it is for sure. Please send prayers to my 90-year-old aunt, Arlene, who is like my mom. Prayers to her. May she be safe and well. She's having heart surgery next Thursday. Wow, at 90. Wow. Yeah, that feels pretty vulnerable, doesn't it? However that goes, may she be safe. May she be at peace. Blessings to Arlene. So we get the idea. We understand the practices. Today is Giving Tuesday. Generosity of presence to you first. Take some moments. Take some breaths. Take a moment and go out and look at the sky. Feel the breeze. Open your hands. Scream Alleluia, or Amen, or wow at it all. And nourish yourself in those moments. The truth is, and we know it in the science, don't we? We know it in the science, that you will be more and your presence will be healing. Right, nature. Another Arlene. Well, we will hold them all. May we hold all Arlenes. May we hold all those going through challenging health and surgeries. All those, may they all have others who love them, as Aunt Arlene clearly does in Jan. And may we bring our presence. May we bring our presence to that. Those who are well and those who are ill. Anybody have any comments about this? Thank you for the shares on chat. I have one other, I think, short story. And I always just use myself, right, as an example of the practice and the work, not as having gotten it right. Please don't mistake that. I said in the meditation that my niece, our niece, had, she has a little 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. And of course, traveling with children is challenging and beautiful. And they were just worn out, of course, and fussing. And so she said on Thanksgiving Day, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And said it about 50 times. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And they walked out of the house and I said, nobody's coming back. And I said it slightly humorously, but I also knew what was happening by virtue of my own having lost it, right? And my understanding of that. And so they don't come back and they don't come back. And the next morning, they ask us to come over to the house where they're staying across the street. And we go over there, and I know what this is about also. And Julie is the name of the niece, and Kathy is the sister-in-law of mine. And they say, we owe you a gigantic apology. And I say, yes, you do. Yes, you do. They kind of go, we didn't help with the dishes. We didn't help with I said, oh, no, that's not the apology. That's not the apology. The apology is that you didn't listen to yourselves and then just be honest about what you needed so that you could get the help you deserve. And you get to throw up the red flag, don't you? You get to go, I'm SOS in here. I'm going under. I can't do these kids. I can't do this traveling. I can't do this day anymore. I need a break. And I don't know how it would have gone. I just know that others would have attended and wanted to be there and support me. So it's not the apology actually to me, is it? It's the apology to you that you did not gift yourself that, because it would have been fine. Right? And our promise, our commitment to it is you always get to say how it is. And so last night at 7 o'clock, instead of hanging with the family, I said, I'm teaching in the morning and I'm really tired. And so I'm going to go. Right? Perfect. And now I get to be here with everyone and refreshed and get to spend the morning with them. Also refreshed. The generosity of my own presence. Gifted first to ourselves so that we can see what is needed and abundant. Not just for ourselves, but also for others. And this will be the result over and over. And I want you to see that. It is not selfish. It is not out of one's own interest. It is that so that you can continue to be the gift. You are the gift to this world, to this life, and to your families when you are whole and holy. Right? So you get this idea? Yeah, we all really do. Please attend today on this Giving Tuesday. I'd love to hear how it goes on Saturday. On Saturday, I will not be here. I will be with the 8 of our other EMC members. We're going to be elves at the CRC holiday basket drive. We will be distributing the boxes. I'm so excited to do that. We have been privileged to get some of those spots. Many other organizations did not get them, actually. So I feel we have a relationship, an important relationship now with CRC. So I'm grateful for that. We will, however, this week be engaging with the Gaden Chartsi monks, the Tibetan monks who are going to be arriving, I think today, and will be at the Unitarian Church in Solana Beach beginning tomorrow, I think, is their opening ceremony for the White Tara. That is my assigned deity. I love her and her qualities. They are doing a White Tara mandala, and that starts Wednesday. On Thursday, there will be a White Tara empowerment. Craig and I will be at that. Anybody else who would like to join is from 2 to 4. Once again, at the Unitarian Church, right there behind Home Goods in Solana Beach. If you can't join for that, Sunday, we will be, EMC is serving the monks lunch. Our board has offered to fund the lunch for the monks and their attendants. And so we will be in a ceremony, dissolution ceremony it is called there. And that's where they gather up the mandala and you get little bags of the grains. And then they go down to Cardiff Beach where the sand is thrown into the sea. And that's a beautiful ceremony. I think that starts around 10 o'clock on Sunday. I'll repost it for all of you. I did put that calendar in the newsletter last week, and I'll do it again. Just know that you're more than welcome to come for any and all part of that. I do know that there are a few people who were going to try to see if they couldn't join us for some part of that. Wonderful. Greg will be going to get the lunches from Goodanya, and thank you to them for helping us with that. So we've got quite a busy week, and whether you do any of that or not, can you take some of these essential moments? And again, remember, we know that you are changing the quality of your own mind and the chemistry of your own brain with as little as 10 to 20 generous, loving, present breaths. And so let's commit ourselves to that together this week. I believe Greg will be offering the 30-minute meditation on Thursday. Pete will be here on Saturday mornings, Zoom only, since I will not be here. And then next Saturday, we will be back in the garden, seeing how things are in the garden in December. I think it's going to be beautiful no matter what the weather, because we'll be together, and I look forward to that. All right, all. May we sit for a moment, just gather ourselves once again. Drop back into the body, into non-conceptual presence. Nothing to think about. Can we feel the aliveness of this body? The gift of this precious human life. And may we commit ourselves wholeheartedly, embodied, generously, to presence. May we all be happy and have the causes for happiness. May we all be free from distress, from separation, from judgments, from deficiencies, from the trance and the delusion of separation. May we offer this to ourselves and to others. May we rest in joy at our infinite blessings. And may we offer joyfully those blessings to others. The generosity of presence right there. And may we rest in non-doing first, rather than commit ourselves blindly out of duty, out of habits, out of approval seeking. May we rest first in our own presence, and then offer wholeheartedly what will be as it arises. You can trust it. May our practice today contribute, and may it grow. So be it. See what just those 10 breaths does? Isn't that amazing? All right, everyone. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you all. I trust that you will be well. We'll be talking a little more next week about our collections for St. Andrew's the week after. You're so welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Without you, we have no practice. With you, we can change the world as we are. Be well, everyone. Have a good day. that Giving Tuesday, where are you starting? Just like this. All right, everyone, be well.